Hey, and welcome to another video RAWRlog. Very sorry, it's been a while since I did the last one, which was way back in, I think, November now. Actually, no, December. Yes, it was done in December. I had promised to do this every single month, but the past few months have been pretty busy. Mostly, well, thanks to the Christmas period, but also because so much has been happening lately. A lot of good stuff, really. And I just want to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that's happened that I kind of missed on reporting last month, and also, yeah, what's really taking me so long to do these videos and to do everything else. First thing I want to bring up is something really cool, something that surprised me quite a bit. Is during January I received a review from Deconstructing Comics, who also previously reviewed work I had done with Michael in I'm Famous in Japan, the collaboration webcomic we do together. They gave me an extremely good review for Back Office, and I couldn't believe it, frankly. I didn't think they'd like Back Office. When they reviewed I'm Famous in Japan, they were very analytical. They really went into each and every aspect of the comic, and they caught me out on a lot of my failures in that comic, because I made lots of mistakes and stuff I kind of realised while I was making it. And I was always kind of hoping, and I always do hope when I make a comic, that people don't notice my mistakes. But these guys did, and that really impressed me in one respect. But another, I thought, I'm going to get anyone to review my comic, it should be these guys, because they're going to find every single thing that's wrong with it. And that's kind of good in a way, because that helps me improve the comics I'm doing. Another way, I was kind of afraid of a negative review. I thought it would really dishearten me and make me not want to do this anymore. And surprisingly enough, they liked most of it. They actually, I think they compared some of the storylines to the likes of a Hollywood movie, and I was just thinking, what, really? Wow. I didn't think you could make a movie out of the stuff I make. But yeah, they called the Back Office schematic story arc was kind of described as that, and they weren't too harsh on my artwork. Some of the early stuff is terrible, really bad. I really thought they'd rip me apart for some of the really bad art mistakes I've made, but they didn't seem to pay too much attention, and that felt great. I really liked that. It's kind of encouraged me to go a little further now at Back Office, and I had been holding off on releasing it as a print comic because I kind of felt that no one would like it. I kind of felt that those people who were telling me that they enjoyed the comic were just people who knew me, who were trying to be nice to me, essentially. But I'm getting the impression now that it's not all that bad, and that it's something I could potentially sell to people, and not feel guilty about it, which is the main thing. I don't want to take my hobby and then inflict it upon people and expect them to pay me for it, because that's kind of, yeah, that's not cool. But if it's something they like, then yeah, I won't feel as guilty. Maybe. Here's hoping. But this is kind of related to another thing that's happened. Kind of started off last year in December, just not long after the last video. I was commissioned to print Volume 1 of Back Office as a prize for a kind of a Christmas calendar competition. They paid me to print out the comic, and I used that template to actually print another one, which is right here beside me. Back Office Volume 1, Saving the World from Minimum Wage. I call it the preview edition because it's full of spelling mistakes, which I've got to fix. But the winner of that competition got a copy just like this, and this is the only other copy that exists. So in the future it might be worth maybe what I paid for it. I don't know. I'm just thinking of a fictional future where my stuff is famous, and you'll get collectors going crazy trying to find the copy with mistakes in it. But there are mistakes, spelling mistakes, design mistakes. But yeah, this is actually also kind of weird to have, really, because you notice it's very big. It's kind of huge. I wouldn't really be reading this on a train or bus very easily, and yeah. But the thing is, it's more for the novelty factor, because you've got this metal kind of ringing around the edge. It's kind of like an office journal, because it's back office and office comedy, office book, kind of like that. And it's kind of roughly the same idea as that recipe book I showed last time, where it's got stain guard in it. Look at that. It's kind of filthy in a way, isn't it? Yeah. Designed actually to protect against food stains, really. But I kept it in because apparently it looked cooler this way. So yeah. The thing is, I can't realistically produce the comic this way en masse, because it's too expensive. Like one of these would cost on its own around 500 Norwegian kroner, which would run up to around $60 US, and that's too much for anyone to pay for that kind of thing. And especially this, even if you like back office, you're not going to pay $60 for what is essentially a 60-page comic, and I can't do that. What I'm considering now, and have been considering for a long time, is using Amazon's CreateSpace to produce the comic and send it out to people on demand for anyone who wants it, but also build up a stock for myself, because I have kind of a desire to go out to conventions with my stuff, and I couldn't do that before because I didn't have anything to sell. And with this, maybe I do. Yeah, I'm just hoping. The CreateSpace version, I hope, will look kind of like this actually, with the same sort of. This was just a temporary cover I made for the prize, but it went down pretty well. So I'm going to keep this cover in the final version. It's just going to be probably more rectangle shaped, like a traditional comic, and it's yeah. There's already a bit of demand for this. I'm going to try and get this printed actually as quickly as possible, because I don't want that kind of excitement from the original print to go away. I want to keep that excitement going, so I'm still excited about making it and pushing it out to people. I think I even sent an email to a comic book shop today to see if they were interested. They'll probably say no, but yeah, what's the worst they can do? They can say no, and that's bad. So, but I'm actually it's a pity I can't use this print, because it turned out pretty well. It's a very nice print. I'm kind of hoping CreateSpace are going to be this good. Fortunately, they're not as expensive, so I suppose I can try a few times. Oh, come here. It's not completed. That's another reason why I'm not sending it out for print yet, is that I want to add some extras in here. Like at the back, I want to add some extras, maybe some character bios, maybe just a few kind of funny 4chan comics with myself in it or something like that. So a lot of manga artists seem to do that, to throw themselves in at the end just to say hello and come back and read some more. And yeah, this I hope will be available before summer. That's my goal. I want to get this comic out for general purchase by summertime, and at the other end of the year, I hope to get onto some form of convention. There are conventions here in Norway. There are conventions in the general Nordic vicinity, which I could go to. I haven't really thought about it yet, so I'm just waiting to see what comes up. I suppose I should be more proactive, but yeah, I'm kind of like that. It's with work and everything else involved, you kind of have to be a bit careful too with what you choose. So whatever it is, it'll have to be local. I can't go anywhere else. So that's that. But that's all I'm going to say about the back office comic for now. I am continuing, of course, with the Office Party story arc. And I'm kind of pleased how it's going. The artwork is staying nice and consistent this time, because I want to try and keep it to a nice level quality. Unlike last time, where it started off pretty damn bad, improved a bit, and then ended kind of like what I'm doing now. And I don't mind with the artwork improving, but I hope it doesn't get any worse. That's always my hope with this thing. But also, I'm going to try and make this actually fairly quick. I sound very disjointed, I'm stopping a lot. It's because I don't have a lot of time to play with, and I don't want to spend as much time as I did last time making this video. So, I'm going to try and keep this tight. I'm going to really try this time to keep it tight. The next thing I want to bring up is I have changed my art schedule week, if that makes sense. Yeah. Basically, every week I assign slots of time to producing back office pages and bat in the art pages. Usually I can pull off one of each for any given week. And that's worked out great for quite a while. I've been able to keep everything going, and the breaks that I introduce usually aren't too bad. Usually the worst I do is about a month between episodes in either bat in the art or back office. And for the longest time I've been getting a bit frustrated by the fact that I can't do anything else. I'm just making the webcomics, and I've wanted time to produce the comic, the actual finished comic that requires additional work hours. And I've been commissioned for several different things, and I've joined in on several other things as well that were outside my normal production schedule, and it was getting kind of difficult. As I may have mentioned before, this whole balance between your normal private life and your comic life. You only have so many hours to play with when you're dealing with your comic life, and so I've had to be a little creative with my week, and I think I've managed to pull off what I'm calling a project day, which for me is every Monday now. And the whole thing about project day is that I can do other bits of art or other comics during that day alone. And that's, so far it's produced a few things. It's produced a couple of commissions I did before Christmas, and after Christmas I joined in on a Valentine's Day, the VDSD from Sarah Zero. That I produced a comic for both Bat in the Art and Back Office to join in on that event, which is, well, it was kind of not safe for work content. Involved, yeah, it was a take on a Valentine's Day where all of your characters could produce. You could produce a nude character of each series. That was kind of the idea. It was sort of a joke on that. And yeah, this brings me on to another point. I joined in on that, and that was incredibly fun, along with about 50 other comics, who, all those guys were amazing. They were really fun people. They did the same. They produced a nude piece of their comic on Valentine's Day, which I did also with Back Office and Bat in the Art. And the reader response was amazing. I had increased traffic up to around, this was actually record traffic for me, it got up to around 3,000 readings. Unique readers went up to around 2,000 on that day, and they continued right through the weekend until about now, where it started to peter off. And I think I've managed to convert a few readers too, so if you're coming from there, great, you're very welcome. And it was a very good sight to see, but on another respect, it's something that always bugs me, that the greatest readership I get is usually as a result of fan service or nudity. Almost always, it seems. Last week I produced a page in Bat in the Art where Aisling, it was a nude scene for Aisling. I posted it on Reddit, and I always post on Reddit when I do an update. I posted on Reddit on the NSFW section. Well, I didn't actually, I just posted the title in the webcomic section with NSFW in it. And Reddit automatically puts that into an NSFW section whenever you type that in, which is kind of a safety measure. It's a good idea. That resulted in some of the best traffic I had for Bat in the Art before the Valentine's Day event. And that was also as a result of fan service, and that started to, I don't know, I shouldn't be so annoyed about readers wanting to come for any reason, frankly, but the fact that it isn't stories or characters that are attracting people, it's just me drawing nudity that's attracting people, and that's kind of, that's a little disheartening. I would have hoped that people would come for the sake of the comics moreover than that. And I guess that's got more to do with the state of the internet now. There are two things that appear to be constants in the internet if you want to actually get attention, and they are cats and nudity. That's why there's a Catter Day now. I do not like Catter Day. I do not like cats that much. Why do people like cats that much? There are so many cats on Google+. I love Google+, but there are so many bloody cats on it. Why are there cats everywhere? What happened to dogs? Why can't we have a Dogger Day? I answered my question by even saying the word, so I'll leave it at that. But I'm not really that annoyed, but it's a little, you're kind of hoping that we'd gotten past this stage years ago, where people got so excited to buy these kind of thing. You'd think they'd gotten used to it by now, but no, they haven't. Oh well, some things will never change, I guess. But yeah, whatever. Going on again, trying to keep this nice and tight. The next thing I would like to do with videos, I've been discussing it with him. It's Michael from Black Snow Comics. I am hoping to do a Google Plus Hangout with him and to record it too for YouTube. To do some kind of webcomic chatting. Myself and Michael have only had actually one video chat in the entire length of the time we've known each other. The likes of I'm Famous in Japan has been done entirely through email correspondence and the chat window in Facebook, which is kind of amazing if you think about it. The amount of collaboration we've had just through email, really. Wow, makes you wonder. But this would be the second time we communicate through video, and this time I'd want to make it a kind of shared video log / webcomic chat session, and I hope that will be the next video you see here. Still have to set a time. I was hoping to do it actually last weekend, but I was very sick and therefore could not. So yeah, actually I could have done it, but you would not have been able. Well, actually, you wouldn't barely been able to hear me, and I would have looked like hell because I was sick as hell. So that wouldn't have worked. But actually, just as to connect Black Snow Comics and the Project Day together, I'm hoping to use Project Day to bring back I'm Famous in Japan, because I haven't produced a page for it in, well, about a year. I produced one page for I'm Famous in Japan back in 2012. One page for the entire year. And I'm sorry, I really wanted to make more, but then Bat in the Art got into full swing, and I hadn't learned how to cope with more than 2 comics in a week. I'd only just about learned how to do 2, thanks to I'm Famous in Japan. But yeah, I couldn't keep up. So thanks to Project Day, I might be able to start producing pages here and there. It won't be anywhere near the same pace I had before, but I have to finish this comic just for my own sake, my own sanity, because there are some really funny scenes I have in mind in this comic, and it's such a pity to leave it sort of halfway done, because we kind of end on a cliffhanger too. We have like what looks like it's going to be a fight in a bar, and then that's it for a year. It's kind of frustrating, so I don't want to see that happen. Actually, I do want to see that happen. That's the whole point. I'm going to draw that, and well, more to the point, I don't want to see the comic disappear. I'm mostly working towards a finished product, I guess. Like, the main thing you have to do while making a webcomic is making it consistent. You have to do it regularly, and I can't do that with I'm Famous in Japan. So I'm kind of working towards the finished story, the finished book, which hopefully should be this awesome sort of short comic read that makes fun of everything in the anime and manga worlds, together with Black Snow and his friends being sort of the our window into it. And yeah, there are certain things that I want to draw on it that my normal comics will not allow, and that's already happened in some respect to some of the pages in I'm Famous in Japan. And yeah, like the likes of giant robots and things like that, things I love from anime and manga. Can't do it in back office yet. I've already kind of done that back office, but there are only so many times you can bring your characters into a thematic universe, so I'm going to have to settle for doing it all in I'm Famous in Japan, and yeah, I'm going to look forward to some of that, and yeah, I hope that will be coming soon. As I say, I'm working right now on getting the book done, and I've got to focus on that for now, but yeah, I think that's all I can actually bring to the table at the moment. I'm kind of running out of stuff to say, and I think it's best to leave it here. So I will talk to you again next time, and hopefully next time will actually be myself and Michael, and yeah, we'll keep reading the comics in the meantime, and yeah, that's that. Let me see. There we go. I have to turn off the video also. Yeah, I'm forgetting.